Hi Evergreen, we are going to do Chapter 5, Lesson 5, Factoring Quadratic Trinomials, with the third term being negative. So get out your book and your pencil and your paper and let's get started. So our objective is to be able to factor quadratic trinomials such as x squared plus 3x minus 28, in which the constant term is negative. So the constant is this last term, right? It has no variable with it. And so we're going to be dealing with ones that have a negative constant. So we're using the same exact technique as we did before, except just one little difference. So if you're multiplying, remember to find our factors, when we're factoring a quadratic trinomial, we're trying to find numbers that multiply to the product of the last constant number. You remember that from our last lesson? And so if we are ending up with a negative number, what two types of numbers are we multiplying together? If we did a positive times a positive, would we end up with a negative number? No. If we did a negative times a negative, would we end up with a negative number? No, we'd end up with a positive product. So that's kind of a clue. You're going to be dealing with a positive and a negative factor to end up with a product of a negative, a negative product. So let's look at this one now that we've kind of thought about that a bit. This is just our example, so you can just watch this one. So x squared plus 3x minus 10. What two factors will give us negative 10, but also add to 3? So negative 5 times 2, right? Or negative 2 times 5 would give us 10. How do I know which one I want to be negative and which one I want to be positive, though? Well, the way we figure that out is we need the two numbers to add to a positive 3. So therefore, we need the 5 to be the greater positive number, because 5 plus negative 2 would give us 3. And 5 times negative 2 would give us, this has a typo, should be negative 10 right here. So, since we had a positive 5 and a negative 2, we're going to say x minus 2 times x plus 5. This is the factored polynomial. Okay, example number 2. What are the two factors of negative 10 that add to negative 3? So this time we need it to add to negative 3. So we're going to be doing the opposite. Another little typo here, sorry. So negative 5 times 2 would give us negative 10. And negative 5 plus 2 would give us negative 3. So this time we're going to give the 5 the negative and 2 will be positive. So therefore our answer will be x minus 5 times x plus 2. So we're doing the same thing as when we factored before, except we just have to pay attention more closely to our negative and positive factors. Example number 3. We need two factors that multiply for negative 20, but add to positive 1. So 5 times negative 4, man, goodness, I just made a typo on all of these. 5 times negative 4 equals negative 20. And so here we have a 5 being the greater positive number, and that's good because whenever we add 5 plus negative 4, we'll end up with a positive 1. And positive 1 needs to be this center term, this middle term. So we had 5 and negative 4. So our answer is x plus 5 times x minus 4. Okay, example number 4. Ooh, I didn't have a typo this time. I was about to say, what in the world was going on? Okay, so negative 20 is our goal for multiplying. What two numbers multiply to negative 20? Negative 10 times 2 equals negative 20. And then what is our goal for addition? What is our sum? We need a negative 8 total sum. So we have negative 10 plus 2 equals negative 8. So our two terms are negative 10, positive 2. So our answer is x minus 10 times x plus 2. Example number 5. What two factors for negative 20 add to negative 9? Ooh, we can't do it. It's prime. I was thinking 5 times 4, but no, we needed one 5 to be negative or the 4 to be negative to equal negative 20. And then if we added those together, it definitely wouldn't be a negative 9 answer. So this is a prime. Remember how that can be possible when you're finding a factor. So this is a prime polynomial. It does not have factors. Okay, number 1. Now we can write this down. Number 1, x squared plus 3x minus 10. So we need numbers that multiply to negative 10, that add to positive 3. Here are our 2. 5 times negative 2 equals 10, and 5 plus negative 2 equals 3. So 5 is our greater positive number because we need a positive middle term, 3. So our solution is x minus 2 times x plus 5. Number 3, x squared plus 2x minus 8. What two products give us negative 8 but add to positive 2? So 4 times negative 2 equals negative 8. And then 4 plus negative 2 equals a positive 2. So our two terms are 4 and negative 2. So x plus 4 times x minus 2. Number 5, x squared plus 8x minus 9. What two numbers multiply for negative 9 and add to positive 8? So I see it is 9 times negative 1 gives us negative 9, and 9 plus negative 1 gives us positive 8. So our numbers are 9 and negative 1. So x minus 1 times x plus 9. Factors. Number 7, r squared minus 4r minus 12. What two numbers multiply for negative 12 that add to negative 4? Negative 6 times 2 equals negative 12. And 2 plus negative 6 gives us negative 4. So our two terms are 2 and negative 6. So r minus 6 times r plus 2. Number 9, a squared minus a, so that means minus 1a, minus 30. So what two numbers multiply for negative 30 that will give us a negative 1 sum? 5 times negative 6 equals negative 30, and 5 plus negative 6 equals negative 1. So our two terms are negative 6 and positive 5. A minus 6, a plus 5. These are our factors for this polynomial. Number 11, x squared plus x minus 20. So we need factors for negative 20 that add to positive 1. So 5 times negative 4 equals negative 20, and 5 plus negative 4 equals 1. So our numbers are 5 and negative 4, so x minus 4 times x plus 5. Number 13, x squared minus 5x minus 30. Oops, minus 50. Oopsies. Minus 50. So two numbers that multiply for negative 50. Can you think of any? There we go. 5 times negative 10 equals negative 50. And 5 plus negative 10 equals negative 5. So our two terms are 5 and negative 10. So our answer is x minus 10 times x plus 5. These are the factors of this trinomial. Number 15, x squared minus 23x minus 50. What two numbers multiply for negative 50 that add to negative 23? 2 times negative 25 gives us negative 50. 2 plus negative 25 gives us negative 23. So our two numbers are 2 and negative 25. So our factors are x minus 25 plus x, times x plus 2. 17, you're doing awesome. X squared minus 20x minus 50. So two numbers that multiply for negative 50 and add to negative 20. Yep, this is prime. There are no numbers that multiply for negative 50 that also add to negative 20. So this is a prime polynomial. There are no factors for this. So you would just write prime. Number 19, u2 minus 71u minus 72. What two numbers multiply for negative 72? Well, 1 times negative 72 equals negative 72, and 1 plus negative 72 equals negative 71, our middle term. So our numbers are u minus 72 times u plus 1. Number 21, u squared plus 20u minus 72. What two numbers multiply for 72? It's prime. There are no factors of 72 that add to 20. Number 23, u squared minus 14u minus 72. Now let's see if we can find some factors that multiply for negative 72 and add to negative 14. 72, ooh, 18. So 4 times negative 18 equals negative 72. Now remember, some of these get a little hard to do in your head if you aren't, wonderful at mental multiplication. You can use your calculator to use, and you can say 72 divided by 9, we know that one for sure. And then you can kind of play with the multiples of 9. So like 9, so 18. 72 divided by 18, or 72 divided, you just keep playing with it. You know it's an even number. And so if you don't know these right off the bat, that's okay. You may use your calculator to kind of guess and check what the multiples could possibly be. Okay, so 4 plus negative 18 equals negative 14. So our two factors are u minus 18 times u plus 4. Number 25. Now this one's a little easier. We already know this one, I bet, in your head. U squared plus u minus 72. So negative 72 can be found by 9 times negative 8. And then 9 plus negative 8 gives us that 1, that middle positive u. So our factors are u minus 8 times u plus 9. Number 27, x squared minus 13x plus 42. 42. Let's think. Ooh, negative 6 times negative 7 equals positive 42. So they're both negative numbers because we are looking for a positive third term, a positive constant. And let's see, do they add to a negative 13? Negative 6 plus negative 7 equals negative 13. Yes, so this one is x minus 6 times x minus 7. Good job. Number 29, x squared plus 5x minus 6. So negative 6, what two numbers multiply for negative 6? That end in a positive 5 if added together. I think I made a mistake here. Yes, I did. So this should be negative 1 times 6 equals negative 6. And negative 1 plus 5 equals 5. Or negative 1 plus 6 equals 5. Sorry about that. So our answer should be x minus 1 plus x, or times x plus 6. So flip those signs. Sorry. Okay, 31, x squared minus 5x plus 6. So two numbers that multiply for 6 and add to negative 5. There we go. Negative 2 times negative 3 gives us, my goodness, I've made so many mistakes on this one. Positive 6, sorry guys. And then they add to a -5. So this should be x minus 3 times x minus 2. See, even teachers make mistakes. Number 33, x squared plus 26x plus 120. So what numbers multiply for 120? And if you get a little stuck, you can kind of think of this as 12 and think, what numbers multiply for 12? Well, 3 times 4, 12 times 1, 6 times 2, and that kind of might help you figure out that it was 20 times 6 is 120, and 20 plus 6 equals 26. So our two numbers are 20 and 6, both positive, so our solution is x plus 6 times x plus 20. This is the factored answer. Number 35, x squared plus 26x minus 120. So this time we have a negative 120. So we know we're going to have one positive and one negative factor. And we have 30 times -4. Does that equal negative 120? Yes. And then if we add 30 plus -4 equals 26. Good. So x plus 30 times x minus 4. 37. X squared minus 21x plus 98. So 98, this one you probably don't know off the top of your head, so you have to use your calculator. 98 divided by 2, yes, that's an even number, and then you can just keep going and guessing and checking until you find two numbers that add to -21. And if you keep doing that, you'll find -14 times -7. Those are two negative numbers that multiply for a positive 98. And then we have a negative plus a negative gives us a greater negative, a -21. So our numbers are -7, -14. So x minus 7 times x minus 14. 39. X squared plus 14x minus 51. 51, that's another one of those strange numbers you might not know off the top of your head, so you should play with your calculator. We know it's not even, so it's not going to be divided by 2, and you can just keep saying 51 divided by 3. 51 divided by, no, it wouldn't be 5. It doesn't end in 5 or 0, so you can kind of use this guess and check method to play and find your factors. If you do, you'll find 17 times -3 equals -51, and then 17 plus -3 equals 14. So our numbers are 17 and -3. So x minus 3 times x plus 17. Those are our factors. 41. Let's do some old skills. Now we're giving you the factors, and I want you to tell me the trinomial. So x times x is x squared. X times -7, -7x. 2 times x plus 2x. 2 times -7 minus 14. Then we're going to combine our like terms. -7 and 2x gives us -5x. And this is our simplified trinomial. So now we just did the opposite. And I think this is our last one. Yep, okay, let's go look at it. X minus 2 times 4x plus 3. So we're going to distribute that x. X times 4x is 4x squared. X times 3 plus 3x. -2 times 4x, -8x. -2 times 3, -6. We need to combine our like terms, those middle. 3x and -8x give us -5x. Let's rewrite our final solution. 4x squared minus 5x minus 6. Yahoo! Y'all did it. I know we've had a lot of problems, but this is a really important thing in algebra, is to know how to factor. And so if you didn't understand this, it's really important that you do. So if you need to rewatch any part of this, or maybe if it's okay with your parents to look up a little video on YouTube, say how to factor, and find some fun videos to help you. This is crucial. So if you don't understand this, you need to practice again. But that is why we've had so many problems, and y'all have been working so hard. But great job, and I will talk to you later. Bye.